Hi, I'm Phyllis from SouthernFrugal.com. We're finally going to fix that pork roast. This is a pork ribeye roast. I've never really had one of these before, but I really like all things pork, really. So anyway, I got this at Walmart. So far they haven't disappointed me on any of their meat recently, which I'm very surprised. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut this out of the wrapper. And I'm going to brown it just a little bit. So I'm just using a bowl so I don't get any of that juice on anything. It is in some kind of basting juice. So cut it out with my scissors. All right, there we go. Alright, so I want to dry the roast off just a little bit because I don't want it doing all kinds of splattering in the pan. And this is the same pan we're going to put in the oven because it doesn't have any rubber or plastic on it anywhere. So I'm going to put the lid on it and put it in the oven after we get it browned and get the vegetables ready. Let me show you while this pan's heating up the vegetables we're going to use. I'm going to use, this is from the freezer, green bell pepper. This is a Vidalia onion, a couple of large carrots, and a couple of stalks of celery. And I'm going to cut those at a real extreme angle. And anyway, so we need to get this roast. I don't want my pan to get too hot. Let me set that off for a second. All right, so we're going to make this sort of Asian type of pork roast, and to do that, I'm trying to get it, make sure I got it all dried off. I'm going to add some, hold on, I got to go wash my hands, hold on. Alright, I got my hands washed, and the spice we're going to use is Chinese 5 spices, and that contains cinnamon, fennel, licorice root, anise, ginger, chili pepper, and allspice and cloves. Chinese 5 spices. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit over that, not much. And I'll sprinkle some more on it once I get it in the pan. So I'm not going to roll it in flour or any of that good stuff, just straight in the pan. Now I'm going to add a little more spices to this. Now it's going to be Asian-inspired pork roast. Alright, let me get my cover. Alright, so y'all couldn't see. Now you can. Alright, so I didn't roll it in flour or any of that. Just a little oil in the pan. We'll get a paper towel. And I do this to keep it from splattering all on my stove, all that grease. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do my vegetables, get them all cut up. And once this meat is good and browned, we'll add the vegetables to it, and I'll show you what else we're going to do with it. So we'll be back. Alright, we've got our little roast browned really on all sides, and we are ready to add our vegetables. So I've got the carrots, celery, green bell pepper, and onions. So I'm just going to go ahead and put those in. The way I slice the carrots. Okay. And the celery kind of at an angle. putting onions in. It already smells really good with those spices in there. Okay, so now we're going to add a little, let me back y'all up. Oops, back up. There we go. Okay. About 1/3 of a cup of golden raisins. Spread this all around. And I'm going to add a little over a 1/2 cup of Valencia orange juice. Now this is the same juice that I freeze in the little ice cubes, and I just thawed it out a little bit, so it's a little over 1/2 cup. Some of it's still frozen with all the pulp and everything in there. Alright, so now we're going to put this in the oven, and I'm just guessing that it'll be done in probably about an hour to an hour and a half. I'm putting it in the oven at 350 degrees, and we'll just wait until the inside temperature gets to about 170 degrees. And I'll just test mine with just one of these little thermometers. Comes from Walmart, really cheap little thermometer, but I want it stuck down right in the center of the meat and make sure it's about 170 degrees. Alright, when this gets done, we'll be back, and I will have fixed the rice, and I'm thinking steamed broccoli or something else. Maybe even a little salad. We'll see. So we'll be back in an hour or so. Alright, we are back, and the roast ended up cooking for about an hour and 20 minutes. And I did turn the oven up about the last 30 minutes to about 400 degrees. Okay, so here's the liquid and all the vegetables. And what I'm going to do is add some cornstarch to that to thicken that up, and it'll also make it shiny. 1/2 cup of water, a heaping tablespoon of cornstarch. And I just use this kind simply because it's got in a plastic container, and I can put the lid on it rather than the kind that's in the box. So you want to just stir that up and dissolve that cornstarch. And then we're going to simply add it to this boiling liquid. Just stir it around a little bit and let it come back to a boil. And once the liquid is clear, you'll know it's ready. Alright. Get the rest of that out of there. Yeah, so it only has to really boil for about 1 minute, and that's when it'll get clear. Alright, so in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and slice up a little bit of this roast over here. It's been sitting there for 5 or 6 minutes. And I've got the broccoli steaming, and I've already cooked the rice. So once this all gets ready and I get it plated up, we'll be back. Well, let me show you this first. What that's going to do is make that liquid a little thicker is what it'll do. So about a minute, that should be all that takes. And my broccoli is done. And my rice is ready, so I'm going to fix the tea, and we'll be back, and I'll show you what it looks like on the plate. Alright, we are ready to eat. And there's that little pork roast. Got some jasmine rice, steamed broccoli florets, and these are the vegetables that were cooked in with the pork roast, and those little raisins, see, they puff way up. So that's celery, carrots, onions, and golden raisins, and also some green bell peppers. And we thickened the gravy, and so I put a little bit of that, or the sauce really, on the pork and on the rice. We've got our tea ready, and we are ready to eat. And we will see y'all next time.